Echo users, have you noticed that Alexa is getting more helpful with suggestions and notifications? You go and you set an alarm and you hear, by the way, have you tried this? You make some other request and by the way, did you know? You make another request.
By the way, I will not stop saying by the way until you buy something from Amazon.
As a longtime Echo user, it gets annoying, and if you've heard it, you probably know what I mean. Now for the rest of this video, I don't want to keep saying annoying, so we'll just call it helping. I recently learned a trick on how to stop the by the ways that I want to share with you, along with 2 other ways to limit some of Amazon's help. Yeah, I really should stop doing that. Amazon is tricky though. They keep coming back with new ways to help you. You'll see what I mean at the end. Now, if you don't use Echoes, you still should watch. It may make you appreciate Google and Siri more. Now, the reason I'm making this video is there's a lot of longtime Echo users like myself that are getting annoyed with all these suggestions and notifications that didn't used to be there. You turn off one and another one takes its place. And they're being turned on by default, so you have to go in and turn them off. The by the ways aren't the only annoying, helpful thing that Amazon does. You have new screens popping up on the Echo Show all the time. I just want a blank screen on my Echo, so now I have to go in there and turn that off since they turn it on by default. But no more. We are gonna stand up to these notifications and all of this and fight it. These are our Echoes and we are taking them back. I don't know why I'm getting all worked up over this. Now before I show you how to turn off all these things, we gotta understand why Amazon is trying to help us so much. First, there's a retention problem. After the holidays, about 15 to 20% of people stop using their Echoes. So they keep trying to share new ideas to try to get people interested in. The second problem is Amazon has lost $10 billion in 2022 on Echoes and Alexa. That's not counting the billions of dollars that have been lost up until this point. There is no profit in selling these devices and they don't have a great way to monetize it. There really is no money in you setting a pasta timer. Most of these things are an attempt to help you use your device more and for them to make some money off of it. So maybe we'll be a little more patient and understanding with that. I do appreciate though that on my HomePods and Google devices, no marketing. If you are an Echo Show user, you're familiar with the different cards that can pop up on the screen with suggestions, your calendar, news, things to try. All of those things can pop up. You don't have to have all those cards. If you want to have a blank screen or you don't want it to rotate through or just annoyed by whatever else was added, what you do is you go into the settings, you go under home content. Here you can see all the different cards and turn them off. One of the things I like at the bottom is to turn off rotate continuously. That way if it does rotate through any of these screens, it'll stop and only show you the home screen afterwards. Now you have a screen like this that is just blank. This is where Amazon gets tricky. They'll come up with new categories that you'll have to turn off. Today was the health thing that popped up, and at some point I'm gonna have to go into the settings and turn it off. As soon as I get it clear, they'll come up with a new one. The pet grooming card with local businesses. This next one's a big one. It's another way that Amazon tries to be helpful, and it's with the notifications. Notifications used to offer a lot of value when it was things like, hey, a return went through, a package is shipping, ooh, there's a weather alert about high winds or storms. Those things were great, but now it's this whole other thing of suggestions, and they keep getting turned on by default. Now you get all these random notifications. Today, before I shot this video, I had that little yellow light pop up, let me know there's a notification. I go and check it thinking it's for weather. No, instead it's like, you read books from Vince Flynn. Steve wrote a book that's similar. Would you like to follow him? I'm like, I don't know who Steve is, leave me alone. I was just living my life. It does get frustrating getting notifications you don't want. Now, if you want to turn them off, you can go into the app, you hit the More tab, go under Settings, and then you're going to find Notifications. And you click on that. There used to be only a handful of notifications. Now we're covering celebrities, finance, shopping, calendar, email, communication. I don't even know what category the one I got falls under. Was that a celebrity thing asking if I wanted to follow another one? I don't know. There's so many of them. But what you can do is you could go in, click on one of them, and pick the things you want to follow. Here's some suggestions. Cowboys and Jimmy Carter. Okay. You could click on the different notification categories and it'll show you additional options like things to try. You'll get a phone notification or just a notification on your device. And some of them are great, like the Amazon Shopping to know if your return was received or your package shipped. It's all the other ones that get turned on by default. I knew we were in trouble a couple years back when Alexa started to let me know that I needed to buy more ink for my printer. Now again, if you want to turn off any of these settings, you would go into the app under that More tab, Settings, and then go to Notifications. These notifications will sneak up on you and you don't realize there's a new one until you get notified that you need to go order more Pringles because you're almost out. Now, one of the biggest annoyances that a lot of people talk about, and the real reason for this video, is the by the ways. It's getting a little ridiculous. The other day I went to go set an alarm on my daughter's Echo and I got the, by the way, would you like to try out the premium version of this sound? Or you make some kind of other request and it offers up, by the way, you want to try this skill. I feel like I'm being sold to constantly. Luckily, you can turn this off. But again, I say Amazon's sneaky because it won't stay off. The next day as the sun comes up, the by the ways are back for you. So I'm going to show you a workaround that I talked about in the beginning. What you have to do is create a routine to work around this. Basically telling Alexa to tell herself to stop. Because what you're saying and what you're going to put in there is, Alexa, stop by the way.
Okay, I will snooze my suggestions for now.
Notice says snooze, snooze, not turn it off because it'll be back. So that's why you have to write a routine to tell itself to not do that. Now, if you'd like a written out version of these directions, I'll put a link down in the description to a PDF. Now, to create this routine, you would go into the app, you go under the More tab, you go to Routines, hit the plus sign to create a routine. Here you can give it a name. We'll just call this Zip It, because that's what we need it to do. We'll hit next. Now you got to pick when this happens. We would hit schedule. Here we would pick when we want it to happen at a specific time. Let's just pick sunrise to keep it simple. Right now, every day at sunrise, it's gonna run this routine. So we'll just hit next. And for our action, this is where we take advantage of custom as the action. You click on there and basically you're gonna enter what you would normally ask for. In this case, we want stop by the way. And then done, we'll hit next. And our routine is written that every day it's going to do this. We're just going to hit save. Once you go to save, if you haven't already put in which Echo you want this to run on, you would pick that here. So in my case, I would just pick this Echo 4th generation in black. Now, if you want to try this, you can just hit play and you'll see.
Okay, I will snooze my suggestions for now.
For now is the key, but she will be back to suggest more. Now we've dialed back some of the help from Alexa. At the end of the day, I do appreciate that with my HomePods, I don't have this same kind of advertising. If you're not familiar with the latest HomePods, you really should check out this video to see what Apple's up to and their new features. I'll see you over there. Thanks for watching. Bye.